Mr. Gore from New Sullivan. Special thanks to Cape Chicago. I'll have their link in the description. We're going to continue today talking about rudiments. Okay, so we went through all the roll rudiments. We went through all of the diddle rudiments. And the next set of rudiments are flam rudiments, okay? So flam rudiments, they are played exactly how they sound. And let me just break down these notes that you see. You see a little note and a big note, right? The little note has an L under it, and the big note has an R. So a flam is pretty much you playing almost simultaneously. You're almost playing at the same time. The little note, which is you start with your left hand, that one is going to be closer to the drum than your right hand. Your right hand is at the original starting position to play, and you try to play them at the same time. And you exaggerate, not by much, but you kind of exaggerate the movements when you switch your hands, just so you can differentiate the flams. And the way that one of the New Sullivan students actually said it, because we talked about, this is one of the ones we talked about before, and when I showed all the super easy ones, it's pretty much like skipping using your hands, right? So one hand starts closer to the drum than the other, and flams are played. You hear that? They like almost together. They're not too separate. Left hand start closest to the drum, right hand in the air. As soon as you hit it, right hand is closest to the drum, your left hand is in the air. And what I mean by in the air, I don't mean above your head, I mean around chest level, where you would be when you playing normally, okay? Flam accent. The way we do flam accents, it's like an eighth note triplet, starting with a flam. So the first note in flam accents would be accented. No pun intended, but the first note would be accented. The flam is accented. You see what I mean? How all these make sense? How they are written, or the names of them sound like what they are. So you accenting the flam. That's why it's called a flam accent. But you playing triplets, and it's eighth note triplets. So it'll be flam left, right, flam right, left. Okay. So the hand that starts closest to the drum is the hand that plays right after the flam, right? Flam, left, right, right hand, right, left, right? Right hand flam, you do a left hand flam, right hand flam, right? And actually, I said it wrong. It's a right hand flam because the right hand is the one that's the one that's starting up higher than the drum. So right hand flam left, right, left hand flam left. I mean right, left. Excuse me. So one more time. Right hand flam left, right, left hand flam right, left. Okay, that's how we do flam accents. And the first note, which is the flam, is accented. Next one is flam taps. Okay, so the note that starts the highest plays an extra tap. That's all it is. So your right hand starts higher first, and your left hand is close to the drum. So when you play it, you play them together. And while that left hand is coming up, you play another note with your right hand. So flam right, flam left. Those are flam taps. Flam tap, flam tap, flam tap, flam. Each flam is accented, and then you do a tap. Flam tap, flam tap, flam tap, flam tap. Okay? Flam Q. Flam Q is it's a flam. We just playing a 16th note figure with a flam and then a quarter note flam. And the hardest part about this is that we're accenting the second note, not the first note, not a flam. It's not a flam. So we got flam accent, two notes, and then a regular flam. So it'll sound like this. Flam left, right, left, flam. Flam right, left, flam, right? So the second note, if you hear me, I was trying to make it noticeable. The second note is more accented than any other note. Flam paradiddle is just a paradiddle and a flam put together. You started with a flam and you ended it as a paradiddle. And actually it's a paradiddle the whole way through. It's just the flam is the first part of the paradiddle. Flam a diddle, right? Starting with the flam, let's start with the first with the flam paradiddle. The left hand is close to the drum, right? Right hand is in the air. Right hand is in the air. You play them together. Flam, left, right, you're switching which hand starts higher for that flam. Remember, flams is hitting the drum at the same time. One hand is closer to the drum than the other. Flam left, right, flam right. Flam a diddle, flam a diddle, flam a diddle, flam a diddle. Okay? Single flammed meal is when you playing a flam, and then it's still a 16th note figure, but it's a single stroke right after that. That's why it's called a single flammed meal, because you're going flam right, left, right, flam left, right, left, flam right, left, right, flam right, left. I mean left, right, left. Excuse me. So you just doing flam in a single stroke. Flammy and right, flam, right hand flam. We call them the name of the hand of the flam, right hand or left hand flam. We name them based upon which note is bigger in the flam. The bigger note is the name of the note flam it is. So right hand flam is just like a right hand paradiddle. Right hand flam, left, right, left hand. Okay? And trust me, like I said, right now I'm just doing these videos to show you the figures so you can not be lost. Eventually, and not even eventually, in the next few videos, after we almost done, we only got 40 rudiments. If we got time left in the school year, we will do videos where I'm not just showing you the notation. You'll be able to just see me instead of the notation, okay? So flam, paradiddle, diddle, that's where we at now. Flam, paradiddle, diddle, same thing, right? It's a flam, but it ends as a paradiddle, diddle. Right hand flam, left, right, left, right. Paradiddle, diddle, flam, diddle, diddle, flam, diddle, diddle, right? Right hand flam, left, right, left, left. Remember, one on each hand, two on each hand is paradiddle, diddle. It just starts with the first note being a flam, okay? Patta flat fly is the hardest one in the flams to me, in my opinion. Patta flat fly is the hardest one, and this is how we do patta flat fly. It has two flams. It has a flam that started and a flam that ended, okay? So if we're doing a patta flat fly, left hand closest to the drum, right hand flam, you got flam, left, right, flam, flam. So when you do that flam, flam, right, you do the left hand, you do the right hand flam back into the left hand flam. So this is making you play both flams. Flam, left, right, flam, right, left, right. It's the same thing, I'm sorry. It's not, this one doesn't switch hands. Flam, left. And the flams are accented. If you notice, for all the for all of the flam rudiments, the flams are accented, okay? Swiss Army, except for the flamma Q, I'm sorry. Flamma Q, remember that second note is accented except for, and not the flam, but every other one, the flam is accented. Swiss Army triplets are kind of similar to flam accents. The only difference is faster triplets. Flamma-lit, 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 right? And the hand that starts high plays that second note of the triplet. So it's more like a flam tap, and then you do the other hand. Flam right, left, right? 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 Okay, that's Swiss Army triplets. Inverted flam tap is the same thing as flam tap, but except for the hand that started closest to the drum is doing the tap instead of the hand the flam is on. So instead of doing right, flam left, you're doing flam left, flam right? It gives it a little weird to sound like you're doing it backwards, even though you're not. You're still doing flam taps. It's just instead of using the hand that was up high to play the tap, you're using the hand that was closest to the drum to play the tap. Okay? Flam drags, okay? This is the last one we're going to talk about. In the next video, we're going to talk about the drag rudiments, okay? So flam drags is a flam and then a drag. And right now, I'm going to do a vague example for this one. and I may start the next video off with this one, or I might end the next video off with this one after we learn all our drag rudiments. So right now we're gonna do a flam, and then it's the one that was closest to the drum. You're gonna do 2 on that hand, and then the one that wasn't closest to the drum, you're gonna do 1 on that hand. So you got